Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Synchron Yugioh deck profile for post Legendary Duelist Magical Hero. Wanted to give an update for the Synchron deck as one of the first decks for the different deck profiles I'll be doing from post Magical Hero. I started off with this one just because I pulled the most support out of all the decks for the Synchron deck out of all the packs I opened so far of Magical Hero. It's a really awesome deck. For those of you that don't know, the Synchron's focus on different Synchro summonings using the different forms of the Synchron tuners we have. I would say it was Yusei's main deck throughout both the manga and the anime. So really fun if you're looking for a deck to get out consistent synchro summonings using also synchros for synchro summoning for other powerful synchro monsters. But enough talk, let's go ahead and dive right into the deck profile with all the new support we have for the deck. So we'll start off with some of the tuners. I run 3 Junk Synchron, one of the first tuners we ever actually got in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 2 or lower monster from your graveyard in face-up defense position. That monster's effect is negated, so Junk Synchron definitely does have the easiest way to perform a synchro summon, just giving you that free monster when you have it set up in your graveyard. So very useful to run at 3. It just works very well, plus it's needed for a few of the synchros we run in the extra deck, including Junk Warrior and also other ones like Junk Berserker. So having this card to rely on for those synchro summons definitely does come in handy, and why I like to run 3 of it in the deck, so you always have that play as long as you have the level 2 monster in the graveyard to use. One of the other very consistent tuners in the deck is Jet Synchron. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add 1 junk monster from your deck to your hand. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use 1 Jet Synchron effect per turn, and only once that turn. So the add effect for cards like Junk Synchron is what comes in handy the most with this card. And then just giving you more resources in the form of Jet Synchron back onto the field is also very useful for that play to continue having monsters to use for your different summonings as well on the field. And I also am testing out 3 Quick Draw Synchrons. I was debating running Junk Servant as well in the deck, just for another easy special summon onto the field. So if you wanted to reduce the number of Quick Draw Synchrons you run in the deck, just if you think the tuner count is a little high, you can add in Junk Servants for the extra spot for how many Quick Draw Synchrons you take out. Just put in a Junk Servant instead in its place. But it still helps to set up the field very easily. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard for a synchro summon. You can substitute this card for any 1 Synchron tuner, and it cannot be used as a synchro material except for the synchro summon of a monster that lists a synchro tuner as material. So even if you can't use it for a synchro summon, you still have link plays if you wish for the extra deck. I don't run too many link monsters in the extra deck, but still having Quick Draw Synchron available for that option definitely does come in handy when you can't go for the synchro play. But we do run a good amount of synchron reliant synchros in the extra deck, so you should always at least have a synchro play, unless you've already gone through most of the deck and somehow was able to recycle the Quick Draw Synchron back into your hand to use again. And I am also running 1 of the new Satellite Synchron. Now, you may bump this up to 2 and take out the next card I run. That's completely player preference at that point. But with Satellite Synchron, if a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you have a Synchro monster with Warrior, Synchro, or Stardust in its original card name on the field or graveyard, you can make this card's level become 4 until end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Satellite Synchron once per turn. But you have another easy tuner to summon out onto the field, just by giving you resources from the graveyard when they're special summoned to special summon this card from your hand. But the fact that it is from the hand is why I'm only testing out 1 in the deck so far. If you want to add in another copy of this card, you can try taking out the 1 Junk Anchor I am also trying. For a synchro summon, you can substitute this card for any 1 Synchron tuner having the same effect as Quick Draw Synchron, and once per turn you can discard 1 card, then target 1 non-tuner junk monster in your graveyard, special summon that target, and if you do, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro 1 monster that has a synchro monster as a tuner as that monster in this card only. This card works very well for the spot for the Junk Servant play that I spoke of before with the junk monsters in the deck. But if you want to add in a second Satellite Synchron, this could be your spot to put in for the Junk Anchor in the deck, all up to the player at that point. But just another level 2 option that can substitute in if you need for the level adjustments you have on the field as well. And then for some of the non-tuner monsters, I'm running 3 of the new Junk Converter, a very good setup card in the deck. You can discard this card and 1 tuner to add 1 Synchron monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can target 1 tuner monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. You can only use each effect of Junk Converter once per turn. So if you set up your graveyard with the tuner monster to summon back with this card as the Synchro play, it's just another easy effect to use if you have multiple Junk Converters in your hand as well. The add of a Synchron monster just helps also to add Junk Synchron to your hand to use, and having the level 2 monster set up in your graveyard, as well as some other additional monsters you can play as well. So this card is your setup in the deck and very, very useful for that. I also run 3 Doppel Warrior with Doppel Warrior's tuner's tokens being able to be easily summoned out to the field. When a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can special summon 2 Doppel tokens, level 1, 400 attack and defense in attack position. Like I said, just more resources to use with the deck, especially in the form of tokens on the field, and just being another option for Junk Synchron to special summon back to the field to use and then get additional tokens is another bonus as well. Just for also more setup for the discard with your card, and this 1 tuner sets up more and more, and if you have Doppel Warrior in the graveyard as well, it's just an added bonus. And for easy special summons from the hand, I run 3 Junk Forward, just another easy special summon from your hand onto the field. And also you can have a target for Junk Anchor with Junk Forward when it is set up in the graveyard. Most of the time, having this card easily in the hand going first is just another easy special summon and an easy way to get it into the graveyard to use with cards like your Junk Anchor for that play. But also, just being a level 3 monster, it's very adjustable for all the different plays you may want to go for your Synchro plays, which is why I like to run 3 of this card in the deck as well. And for just more special summon options from the hand, I run 2 Blue Mountain Butterspy. It cannot be normal summoned or spent. When you normal summon a warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. It cannot be used as a Synchro material, but more for the link play with Blue Mountain Butterspy in the deck. If you wanted to keep in the amount of quick draw Synchrons you run in the deck as well to 3, but still wanted to try out Junk Servant as well, just being an easy special summon on the field, you could take out the Blue Mountain Butterspies and put in the Junk Servants as an easy spot, being both level 4 monsters and just an easy special summon. Blue Mountain Butterspy is just in here once again for the easy link plays, especially for cards like Junk Connector in the extra deck. And then just one more, probably the best special summon monster is Boost Warrior. If you control a face-up tuner monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in face-up defense position. All warrior-type monsters you control gain 300 attack. So aside from the warrior boosts, which helps for some of your Synchro monsters you may have on the field, it's just that level 1 monster, if you're 1 level off of a Synchro play, that definitely does come in handy. I can have some level 7 setup on the field, but let's say I want to go for the Road Warrior play. Having that 1 additional monster to summon out Road Warrior is definitely needed and helped with Boost Warrior on the field. And I also run 1 Armageddon Knight. This is for the search to send an Destrudo into the graveyard to summon back onto the field to synchro off with Armageddon into a level 7 play. And for the last 2 monsters in the main deck, I run 1 Glow Up Bulb with Foolish Burial, and just having a chance to mill this card off with tuning is very, very useful. And 1 Quillbolt Hedgehog. I still love the play where you can discard Quillbolt off of Quick Draw to special summon it, and then easily summon Quillbolt back onto the field, and there is your Junk Berserker play right there as well, or even Junk Archer if you have that monster in the deck as well. And that's it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 tuning. You add 1 Synchron tuner from your deck to your hand, then send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Running a good majority of monsters means that you could potentially mill something off with tuning that can be better off used in the graveyard as well. You can even send off a Junk Forward if you didn't open it up early game, then summon it off of your Junk Anchor, or just plenty of fodder for your special summon of Junk Synchron when you normal summon this card after searching this card also, and being able to search out any of those tuners, even if you need, your Jet Synchron for your setup with this card as well. And I also am running 2 of the new Synchro Chase. Your opponent cannot activate card or effects in response to the effects activated of your Synchro monsters with Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust in their original names. If you Synchro summon a Warrior, Synchro, or Stardust Synchro monster, you can target one monster in your graveyard used as its materials and special summon it in defense position. You can use this effect of Synchro Chase once per turn. Just a card to give you resources. You have a good count of monsters, but just having that 1+ monster to use with this card is especially useful in the deck. And for some of the other 1-of spells, I run 1 Reinforcements to the Army, with Junk Synchron being a warrior, but also being able to search out Armageddon Knight, or just being able to go for a lot of the different warrior monsters we run for your plays. It's definitely needed. Also, 1 for 1, level 1 monsters, Jet Synchron, you name it, are a good amount in the deck as well. Monster Reborn, getting back any resources you need from the graveyard, and 1 Foolish Burial for Glow Bulb setup or anything else you could think of, even Quibbled Hedgehog if you need. And also, to finish off the spells, I run 3 Call by the Grave. If you didn't want to run the hand trap spot of Call by the Grave in the deck, you can try some of the new Trap Scrap Iron Signal in the deck. It negates and then resets itself once per turn. It's a thought if you wanted to run traps in the deck. I like going the full spell route, just so you always have a play to go off of and don't have to rely on setting a trap and waiting a turn against your opponents. But that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 1 Satellite Warrior. This is the new card from the Magical Hero Booster Pack. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Synchro monsters in your graveyard and destroy them. If you do, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card destroyed. And if this Synchro Summon card is destroyed, you can special summon up to 3 level 8 or lower Warrior Synchron or Stardust Synchro monsters with different names from your graveyard. You can use each effect of Satellite Warrior once per turn. This is definitely a boss monster. I only have the 1 in the deck. I thought of putting 2, but it's really that setup card that gives you more synchros on the field to use after it's destroyed, and just being a big boosted card for having late game as well. Early game doesn't do as much, since the pop effect works best when you have plenty of synchros in your graveyard to use as well. That's why I kept it at the number it is, but still very, very useful for all the different cards you can summon out to the field and then go for its synchro play. I also run 1 Excel Synchron, just a level 5 option that definitely does help for the play. Just needing 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner. Having a level 2 summon with Junk Synchron makes it very easy to summon out this Synchro tuner. 1 Junk Warrior, it was Yusei's main ace monster, so you definitely gotta run this with all the low-level monsters we run for the attack boost as well. 1 Junk Berserker, I still love the quick draw Synchron Quibble Hedgehog play when you can make it work to go into this card, then being able to banish a card by removing play a Junk monster from your graveyard to select a face-up monster your opponent controls and have it lose attack is another added bonus as well. And I also run 1 Road Warrior for the special summon plays and just being another powerful monster. 1 Stardust Assault Warrior, 1 Stardust Charge Warrior, 1 Junk Speeder, another junk monster to use. Excuse me. And I also run 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. With this one, if you want to run Stardust Dragon in the extra deck, it's a spot that you can definitely consider if you want to go full Yusei power. You can take out the Crystal Wing for the Stardust Dragon spot. Also 1 Ib, the World Chalice Justiciar, for the Synchro Tuner plays when need. 1 Formula Synchron, 1 TG Hyper Librarian, 1 FA Dawn Dragster, and 1 Cosmic Blazar Dragon, which can be shooting Quasar as well if you want. And then I run the 1 Junk Connector. If you want to put in Saryuja in the deck, you could try taking out the Ib for that spot, just if you want more Link draw power plays to go for. But other than that, I really do like just going as pure synchro as possible with the deck. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll definitely be having more deck profile updates for all the other different decks from the Magical Hero booster set, so look forward to it. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.